Morning everyone, we are now at Mount Takao, and against my better judgment, or perhaps I just wasn't aware, this place is incredibly touristic. I thought it wasn't. It was an hour outside of the city. I figured there would have been nobody, and it turns out that this mountain is jam-packed. I was not expecting this at all. I thought this was going to be a quiet morning hike. So I guess we're going to follow the large swarm of people up this mountain. This is crazy. Is it going to be like this the entire time? This is shoulder to shoulder here. Look at this. Just to get to the mountain. This is actually insane. Even the 7-Eleven is completely packed. What is going on? Check out that bench all alone. The only problem is we have this microphone yelling about the cable cart queue, which is incredibly long. That's ruining all aura of this bench. Thankfully, as soon as, just to say, we just started going up the hill. It's maybe 35 seconds, and as soon as you get to a little bit of an incline, everyone just disappears, and now it's just people climbing the hill. As simple as that. Everybody's gone. Okay, that's fine. All right, and we go up. Now, if you're wondering why we're taking path 1, the paved path, it is because I've been informed that there are sizable creatures here that are on the other paths. So we are taking the manicured path. Cut the clip. That's why we're taking this path. The traffic cannot be understated. I mean, I've been zooming around people, but it's just people everywhere. I mean, it's nearly shoulder to shoulder, and we're quite up the hill. Guess this is just what it was. Didn't think it was going to be like this at all. Also, keep in mind, I came at the time that this park opens. So it opens at 9:30. So that's when, we tried to get here for. What is our altitude? Does it say here? No. Anyway, this is a lookout. Just thought of it. The most difficult part about these hills is going down. And every step you take going up, you got to take that same step down. We saw what happened in Nara with going down. Let's hope we don't repeat that. We'll see what happens. This guy's carrying a child, backpack, long pants, jacket. That's impressive. And the long queue to get up the hill continues. I think we're maybe halfway, maybe. There's no altitude signs or anything of the sort, so we just continue. You must be halfway by now, I think. Look at the amount of people. All ages, little kids, elders, everyone. Looks like there's a lookout here. Let's go take a look. Nice. Does ours go higher? I think so. I think our hill goes higher, so we'll keep going and we'll see if we keep going up. Alright, let's move on. Took a quick pee break. Now we'll continue, I think, up the mountain. Looks quite flat here, and the mountain doesn't look like it gets much higher. But we'll keep going. We'll see how far this goes. I think it goes further. Everybody else is walking. Sorry. By the way, I just want to point out, it's a Monday. I mean, there's supposed to be school and other obligations, but this is where all the children are, because in the city you can't find kids anywhere. I guess they're all here at this mountain. It is now at least 1 hour walking up, and there is still people everywhere. This is crazy. Still don't know where this mountain ends. I mean, now there's no road here, and we're being forced to go through this. Is the mountain over and we should be heading back down? I just don't know. I think we really are at the peak, because we haven't really gone uphill at all in the past maybe 10-15 minutes. Look at that guy's toenail. Look at that big toenail right there. It's a crazy toenail. That alone could probably inflict incredible damage. Wow. Imagine facing this guy in battle. Doesn't even wear boots. And he has wings, but he chooses to be grounded and fight hand to hand. So imagine you have wings, but you still choose to fight hand to hand. So you know he has some sort of strong conviction in his skills. Alright, what's going on over here? If there's really no more uphill, we're just going to head back down, because right now this is starting to feel a little bit regrettable at this point. Looks like it's just a bunch of shrines. I was completely mistaken. I thought this was a hill where you go to the top and then you get a nice view or something. Turns out I was completely mistaken. This is a hill where you come up here and then you buy some sort of religious goods and do other sort of religious things. And there's no real view. Maybe over here we could see a bit of a view. As anticipated, going down the mountain is much tougher on my knees than going up. There's just something. I guess maybe I don't use those muscles very regularly, but going down I feel is more strenuous than going up. Going up doesn't seem difficult at all. I mean, didn't even go out of breath, nothing. Didn't even feel it in the legs. But going down, you feel it. And you have to be careful where you step, because it's a little bit dirty. Look at this bench that just faces a tree like that. Just a bench facing a tree. Way too dirty though to be even rated. You know, we'll go super hard right now. Some chicken katsu and an ice cream. Just at least 2 hours from the city. I mean, if we continue scaling down the mountain, plus you have to calculate the 1 hour train, then by the time we get to one, I see in about 2 hours. I haven't eaten anything all day, but that's not an issue. As long as we have water, that's the most important. Also, I want to mention it to the many people asking me why I don't have ramen more often. First, it's a hot meal, so depending on the weather outside, it's not ideal. Second, it's because when you go to those places, you usually sit shoulder to shoulder in a very tight-knit, I mean, that's the vibe, right? But the slurping and like chewing with your mouth open, slurping, excessive gross coughing, these are all things that just really, I mean, I guess you could say they're pet peeves. For that reason, it's very hard to have ramen for me too often, because once I hear the slurping, it's over. It's like dirty teeth. These are all things that are huge factors into whether or not I can enjoy whatever it is I'm doing. I mean, if I was like yesterday, if I was looking at those Lambos, those screaming V12s flying by, and then there was somebody with dirty teeth and bad breath next to me, it would probably ruin the experience, even there. It's just something that annoys me. Oh, we're at the bottom of the mountain. All right, let's get on the train and head back. Overall comments on this mountain, by the way, it's a tourist trap. Don't come here. There's not really much to do but going up the mountain. There's nothing to see, no good lookouts. Honestly, it was a bit of a waste of time, but you know, at least I tried it. And I went here, but yeah, there is people everywhere. Everywhere you look, it's just full of people. It's less crowded now than it was before, but nonetheless, it's just full of people. That's why we will get out of here. Honestly, it's a lot more pleasant now that there's no excessive overcrowding. I mean, I guess everybody came in the morning. I must have really come here at the wrong time. Oh, there's a big, massive crowd. A lot less people than before. So it definitely makes a very big difference. Let's check out the stream here. Every time there's a bridge, it's always... Every bridge is just scenic. There's some little kids playing in the water there. That's good to see. I guess Golden Week as well is contributing to this massive tourism, especially by the locals. It's probably my fault for coming here today. Oh well, we press on. Just cut the clip. Mount Takao. The Asians really do know how to make everything into a tourist trap. They can make a tourist section out of anything. It's quite spectacular to see. Just anywhere they could turn into a tourist village. And this is just another example. All right, for real, we're gonna head into the train station this time. We are now in a rural Japanese town. What does that sound? It sounds like a siren, like a war siren. We are now in a rural Japanese town. Hey, look at that car. That's a cool car. And we will be heading to, well, since we're done with Mount Takao, about 650 meters in elevation, allegedly. Didn't feel that bad though, the walk. It was maybe about 1 hour up, 1 hour down. But yes, now for our next step of the journey, we will head to the Outdoor Museum in Kogane. So we are walking in rural Japan right now to another station that we will take there. And once we're there, hopefully it is not riddled with tourists, and I will show you some special things from the Studio Ghibli film Spirited Away. It's one of my two favorite movies, Spirited Away and Fight Club. They're both tied for best movie ever made or best movie I ever watched. Obviously, personal opinion, subjective, whatever, don't care. And you'll see how that film that was released in 2001 has many of its elements or many of its visuals inspired by certain things in the Outdoor Museum. And I won't show them all because I don't know them all off the top of my hand, but I'll just show you a few. That's an interesting street name, but hey, straight to the point. I guess there's a medical prison on that street, or it's just a really bad translation. The streets are so quiet here, it's quite strange. But considering the amount of buildings and the density of the buildings, you would think there's a lot more people here. The vending machine drinks are still relatively expensive in this area. On the mountain, by the way, the vitamin D drink was $190. Just to say, in Osaka, we found those two vending machines where they had at $120. And around Tokyo, it's generally $150 to $170. Yeah, on the mountain, $190. Anyway, we'll just keep an eye out, see if we see anything interesting around here. There's a basketball store. Very cool. The Tokyo Hachioji trains. The Tokyo Hachioji trains. That's the name of the team. I guess that's the little town or city that we're in. Look how clean this alleyway of water is. Is this a ravine? I still don't know what that is, but it's days that I've been using that word. But look how clean that water is. There is no garbage thrown in here at all. That is crazy. And look at the manhole covers. Even the manhole covers have some sort of design on them everywhere. There's little snippets of art that are integrated in every single part of every single place. And they're not vandalized either. Even better. Alright, this is most definitely an Asian thing, but see, I know for a fact the vitamin D drink is in that machine right there, but there is no way for me to cross this street unless if I walk all the way over there and then walk back, or if I walk all the way over there and then I walk back, or else you just can't cross the street to get there. So I guess we're just not going to buy the drink, but it wasn't even about buying the drink, it was more so I just was curious to know the price considering where we are. But it is what it is. We press on. We're just going to keep going. Got off one station too far, therefore I went into the nearest pharmacy and I rewarded myself with a 120 yen Pocari Sweat. Now I know what you're thinking, well, you finally found the mythical Pocari Sweat. However, I am drinking it from a pharmacy purchase and it wasn't a vending machine purchase. And everybody knows Pocari Sweat tastes better when it's purchased from a vending machine. But nonetheless, it had to be done. And here we are fast approaching, we are in Kogane by the way, and we are fast approaching the Studio Ghibli Studios. Remember, this is not the museum, and even if you try Googling it, it says in big, this is not the museum. But let me show you, it's a series of buildings and it's very small. It just looks like one really nice home. And right around the corner, there's also a Ghibli daycare, which we won't film for obvious reasons, but I'll see if I could catch maybe just the bench that's in front, since it's quite a majestic bench. And around the corner from here, we'll also see Hayao Miyazaki's home, which I'll try not to film, and I'll see if he's home or not. And you'll know because he has a very well-known Citroën 2CV vehicle, and he's the only person in the area that drives it. So that's how everybody knows it's him. And if he's home, that's cool. If he's not, I mean, that's cool too. Once again, you could just Google his home. It's no secret. Everybody knows where it is. But we're going to pass by it anyway. And this is the studio. This is the main studio, and this is the second building. This is the studio building. It's just a really big home. And it very clearly indicates, sorry, I'm choking on this Pocari Sweat. It very clearly indicates that this is not the museum, the exceptionally popular museum, but rather just the studio where they work. So last time there was people working here. Today it doesn't look like there's anybody working here. And they have this building across the street as well. How much do the drinks cost? $150. Oh, that's pretty expensive. And they have this building as well across the street. So you have Ghibli 2 Studio, and this is the studio. So off limits to unauthorized persons, staff only. There's a lot of signs. See, it even tells you, please come in by the main entrance if you need assistance finding the Ghibli Museum Mitaka. Because the Ghibli Museum is in Mitaka. I don't think we'll be heading there today. I don't have tickets. By the way, look at the greenery as well. We'll walk towards the corner here where there's the Ghibli daycare and also Miyazaki's home. Interesting is that when I went to the museum in 2020, I had to book the museum ticket before even booking my flight, and I booked my flight in accordance. And at the time, there was about maybe a few dozen people in the queue online on the Lawson website. A few weeks back when I tried it, there was about 450,000 people, and it was rapidly going up the number on the Lawson website waiting for a ticket, because you have to buy the ticket on the morning of the 10th of the month before for the following month. And I guess they just sell out so fast, but it's crazy that there was 450,000 people in queue to buy a ticket to this museum. Completely insane. 500,000 people. Some cities don't even get 500,000 tourists a year. So it just goes to show you that there really is a high demand for it. Now we're going to take a walk over here and we're going to see what else we could find around here. But as I said, we're going to try and not film the particular daycare in particular, which is right here. And up ahead is his home. And it looks like there's one vehicle here. and it is not the Citroën, it is instead a Fiat. Is that his new car? So his home is on the left. You know what, let's not film the home, but the home is on the left, and he may or may not be home, but this is the home. You could Google it. I'll post a Google photo of it, but I'm not gonna videotape it myself. Interesting too how he just lives in a humble home here right by the studio. So that's it. Now we're gonna head to the museum. Or first we're gonna stop. We're gonna walk to the next station, and then we will stop and eat, and then we're gonna head to the outdoor museum. Now you might be wondering why I didn't videograph his home myself, but instead that I'll post a screenshot from online. Is that if for any reason at all I get stopped by any sort of authority who says that like I'm prying or I'm spying or whatever, and they look at footage, there's no footage of me showing the home, and we're good. It's just really to keep it that simple. I don't know all the laws about other countries that I visit, but I try to stay, as clean as possible. Anyway, now for real, we'll cut it and we'll go to the next phase. This is such a peaceful walk that I've been on for 25 minutes. You guys would not understand. It's just so peaceful, so nice. Can't explain it. I was thinking of taking the train back just for this one stop, and since I've been walking, I have not heard the train pass once. So I'm thinking that would have been a total monumental waste of time. Wait, never mind, I think I hear the train now. Okay, maybe I'm speaking for nothing. Just cut this clip. Yep, that's the train. Just cut the clip. Gotta love how people just leave their stuff outside, and it's all good because they know nobody's going to take it. Whether it's bicycles, whether it's equipment of other sorts, they could just leave it outside their house and they know that no one's going to take it. Right next to a street here, there was maybe a 3-foot fence stopping someone from taking that unlocked bike, but they know no one's going to take it. It's just so different. Look, there's bikes everywhere. People's houses just leaning against the wall. And driveways and garages, just even there, unlocked. They're just on their stand, right here. That was a clip lock. It was a material lock that you could just unbuckle. That's all it was. You could have just unbuckled it and leave with the bike, but they know. It's really us who's doing something wrong. Look at that car. It's really us who's doing something wrong here. Well, I just ate and I just realized what time it is, and it's only open for maybe another 2 hours or so, so we're gonna get there now. It's about a 30-minute walk away. Something else too is when you use the public bathrooms, or any bathroom really, over here is that there's no paper towel, so I basically just rub my wet hands on my legs until they dry out, and then I just shake them. There's no paper towels here, anywhere. No paper towels, no air thing. That I don't use that anyway, so you just dry your hands on your legs. That's it. Everything is so aesthetic everywhere. I mean, the trees, the road, the lampposts, the street signs, the manhole covers, just everything. Just everything around, there's always some sort of element of artistry in it. I mean, just everything. Alright guys, we are almost there. Another 5 or so minutes to reach the end of the park, which at the end of the park is when we could enter the open air museum. And we've been walking about 25 to 30 minutes now, just peeking an eye on what's around. It's so nice sometimes just going on these walks. You can't explain it unless you're really here. But just going on these walks, hey look, RSX, Type R, some custom mods on it, and just go on these walks. You can't explain it. Video won't capture it. Come here and go on random walks. in these smaller parts of the town. Anyway, we're gonna head to the museum now, and hopefully it's not a mega tourist trap like Mount Takao. It will be my third time at this museum, and it was never fully packed. It's always been a nice walk around and a good overall experience, and it's only about $4 or so. Wow, there's a lot of people at this park. We're also in the afternoon. It's almost 3:30 and this closes in 2 hours. That is a lot of people. Let's get closer. The museum is basically a collection of buildings. Some of them are significant buildings recreated. Some of them are just from different eras or whatever the situation is. And you could go in them. So we'll go in one of them here. Maybe we'll pick one to go in. But there's all different styles. There's benches to sit. A lot more people than the previous times. I've already been here at open, and I was once maybe one of maybe 5 people in this entire open air museum. But nonetheless, it's not super crowded. We're going to go walking around. We're going to check some of the gardens too at some of the homes that they recreated. And we'll go take a look. The famous bus, it's been here for 5+ years now. I remember it 5 years ago. It was the same one. Let's go inside the Tokyo Edo Photo Studio. Look at the floors, what they make them all of. The big windows, the sliding windows with these things, the double windows, the taller ceilings, the walls. Oh, please do not touch. Yeah, there's signs everywhere not to touch things. Let's just give you an idea of this is the kind of architecture all these homes had. We'll go to the kitchen so you can see. Let me see with the kitchen like this. And one of the dining areas. Oh, the room where you clean stuff, the bathroom with the hot tub and the bin, I think, to get the water. I can't really remember how it works. But anyway, this is what a traditional bathroom looks like. I have a photo that I took over here 5 years ago that I'll post up if I can find it. But I do have a photo from 5 years ago here. And the sewing room with the brother machine. Oh, sorry. Won't have time to show you every single house, obviously, but we'll film a bit. I'll walk a bit. We'll do a bit of both. This is just one of the gardens. Super nice garden. Imagine having this garden in your home, or at your home, should I say. Oh, that's a big spider web. Let's get out of here. There used to be water here. Where's the water? I guess maybe it dried up. There definitely used to be water here. I just don't know where it went. And there's a lot more do not touch signs since I was here in September. They're everywhere. I mean, do not use the tripod, do not sit, do not stand. Likely had incidents with people breaking things. The unfortunate reality of this place becoming too popular. So that's what this museum is. It's just a bunch of different buildings. It's like a dozen or so buildings, and each one is representative of something. One of them is that old famous studio. Another one is like the former house of some guy. Another one is like a traditional outside. Anyways, and then when we get to the parts of Spirited Away inspiration, you'll know. I'll just show them and you'll know what I'm talking about. is the recreation of a home of a leader of a group of samurais, and it's to show that during the day they were just ordinary farmers, but then when need be they would be samurais and basically guard the place or guard whatever territory it was. I didn't read the entire lore, but that's the gist of it. This could all be misinformation. I could have just misinterpreted the entire thing. Let's just move on. How cool is this? Imagine having this at your local park or in your backyard. How cool is this? Fun fact about this home is this home was originally in central Tokyo, exactly where the Canadian embassy is today, in Akasaka. On that street in front of the Imperial Palace, it was this home that was eventually taken down. And you see it even says here somewhere. But that's where it was, in the central area, and then it was taken down or whatever happened to it. And then the Embassy of Canada was installed there. Alright, so it's actually an interesting story, but in 1936, on the 26th of February, on the second floor of the building, he was assassinated. And after he was assassinated was when the land and the home were donated to Tokyo. Oh, and that park that is right next to the Embassy of Canada, that park is where the garden of the house was, and that's why that park remained there, and next to it is where the embassy was built. I just convoluted the entire story, but you get the point. Check all the glass windows like this. Each one is an individual piece of glass. Does the exterior glass look familiar to you at all, the pattern? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. That's what I'm going to say. If you know, you know. But yes, that pattern has been replicated in famous anime works. Alright, at the entrance of this garden, there's a rock that the first 2 times I visited, both times, I nearly tripped on it. This time, I know to look out for it, and it's this rock. Right here. First time I hit my toe so hard on this rock, I had to go sit down for an hour. Right here. And there you go. I got the view. It was nice. But I smashed my foot the first time. The second time I hit it, but not that hard. I did almost fall. Third time, we learned. We are now heading into the eastern part, which is sort of a village, and I'll just shoot it, and you'll understand the resemblance to Spirited Away. Keep in mind, Hayao Miyazaki himself came here for inspiration, so it's not a coincidence. If you're not seeing the resemblance, it's you. It's basically you if you're not seeing the resemblance. This is going to look very familiar to you if you remember the boiler room scene, Kamaji's boiler room. So how Kamaji pulls on the drawers, it's basically inspired from this, where you see all the drawers. It was here 5 years ago, and I'll post up that photo as well for you to see, where I held a real Shogun era umbrella. I think that's what it was, 300 years old maybe, if that makes sense, 400 years old. I'm not quite certain, but it was real. And I held it and I took a photo with it. My first photo ever of myself in Asia, by the way, 5 years ago. Right around over here. You will absolutely recognize this next place. It's impossible not to recognize this. At this point, if you don't see the similarities, it's you. It really is you. Yeah, that would be banned in North America, this image. But here, nobody cares. Are those pigeon people or penguin people? I think those are pigeon people, not penguin people. I don't remember any of this from my last visit, but I guess here it is. They don't exactly have the same style of restaurant here as they did in the Spirited Away movie, where the two parents are gouging, Chihiro's parents are gouging on all that food. However, I'm going to try and show you the approximate building that was used for inspiration. I believe it's the next one. Let's go over once more. And here we are. This is the building that inspired the two parents gouging heavily on food. So this entire street is supposed to be a recreation of that. Now, arguably the most famous. Arguably the absolute most famous. The color of the seats, the way it is. Anyway, let's go in. It is the water train. That is the famous train that inspired the water train scene. So the ride is similar to when you're taking the train over to Odaiba, except in Odaiba there are red seats, the trains. In this train over here, the seats are blue. And I believe in the movie the seats are blue. So they kept some things about it, and you know, in Odaiba, I mean, it's obviously like 150 feet in the air over the water. In the movie, it's straight through the water. But it is what it is. It's an anime. That's what it is. The trains go through the water. I don't know what to tell you. There's such a calmness to looking at still water. Can't explain it, but there's such a calmness that is exuded from staring at still water. And despite there being quite a few people here, much more than the previous times I've been here, there's still an overall stillness and calmness in this park, even with the kids. Alright, it seems I can't find it, but I'm looking for a very specific alleyway. And this alleyway is a recreation, or sorry, the scene of when Haku and Chihiro are hiding at the start from the spirits. And they're in that alleyway, and anyway, it was a recreation of an alleyway in here, which for some reason I can't seem to find. I don't know if they blocked it off, if they're renovating it or what. I am seeing some different fencing, so maybe they did block it off and they're restructuring something. If I find the photo, I'll post it up so you can see what I'm talking about. And that is it for the outdoor part. I'm now going to go inside, look at the exhibition on the inside, which I believe is just about cameras. And then we will head back to Tokyo and take it from there. And we'll see what is left for us. We absolutely need to bring back these pastel colors. I mean, even the white is like some sort of pastel white. They had stainless steel trimmings on the fridges back then. Look at this, the stainless steel, thick stainless steel plate. I mean, what's going on? What are we doing? We really are going backwards. Look at this. What are we doing? I'll also add in the clip of the Ghibli clock in Ginza, and I think we saw it in an earlier video. I'll add in that clip too as a part of this one in case you missed that video. You could see it here as well, and that's a clock that I don't remember the history, but anyways, it is a Ghibli clock. It's Howl's Moving Castle. It's the castle itself, and it's animated I think a few times a day. And that's a cool little show. I think it's 90 seconds or 120 seconds. But we'll throw that clip in here as well. So we'll recycle that video. We're now heading out of the park. We will now grab an ice cream and head back to Tokyo. Or should I say central Tokyo. With the jacket, I am too hot. Without the jacket, I am too cold. Hopefully the ice cream will solve that. It's like the fish always know where we are and they're just waiting for us to throw food in there. Go find your own food. What a cool house that is. Isn't that such a cool house? So simple, yet artistic. We're gonna cut this entire clip. Let me just finish this ice cream. Wow, that ice cream was good. Am I eating a regrettable quantity of dairy products whilst overseas across the world? I'm not even gonna answer that because you already know the answer. And I won't like it. I might get another ice cream. You know what, just for that I might get another one actually. You know, that's what I might do. You know, they think they could hide from me, but you can't hide from me. I see you. That's another 458. You can't hide from me. I will find you. You might be on the other side of the road, but I will find you. absolutely amazing choice of vehicle. That 458 right there. Let me explain to you why, and I think I've explained this previously. The 458 is the last of the signature mid-engine V8 Ferrari sports cars, or supercars, should I say, that is naturally aspirated. Therefore, you could hear those ones very well and from a distance. After that, there was the 488, which came out with the twin turbos, and then you could no longer hear them. Nowadays, they have the F8 or 296 or whatever garbage they have now. I think the 296 is a 2.9 liter V6. What a disappointment. Anyway, sorry, back to what I was saying. 458, it's, as the kids would say, ultra based. It is the last breed, or should I say the last horse of its breed. Before that, there was the F430. Everybody likes the F430. Everybody likes the 360. Everybody likes the 355. You know what? What happened? What's going on? Bring back the sound. What's happening? See, now people are going to watch this and say, oh, you're just mad you can't afford it. I would never buy one. That's it. It has to make noise. And then people will argue, oh, well, the new models are this much faster, that much faster. Nürburgring lap times. Okay, buddy, first, Nürburgring lap times have to do with tires more than anything, all right? Second, who cares? I don't care if it's faster or not. I'm driving it on the street. And maybe the one time ever in my life that I'll take it to the track, my skill set won't justify the more advanced engineering. And even at that, more sophisticated, likely less characteristic. So even at that, and pro drivers say it too, that the older cars have more character when driving them. Not as fast. It's not about speed. Who cares? Who cares? You're being sold on the wrong thing. Stop being sold on these numbers. Start being sold on the feel, the character, and the personality. All right? If your sports car, supercar doesn't make noise, what are you doing? Anyway, let's cut the rant. You take the toilet paper like this, and then you use the sanitary thing to spray, and then you clean the rim of the toilet bowl with it before you sit down. And when you're done, you press the button and you basically shoot water up your ass, and then you just wipe the water from your ass and flush. Why don't we have this? Can we get this? I know I said I was going to go to Akihabara tonight, but turns out it's too late. So now we're going to go eat, and we might even just call it early for tonight to do some laundry. We'll see.